welcome to Totality Town. And with that, let the countdown to totality begin. As of January 1st, 2023, there are 462 days to go before what's being called the Great North American Total Solar Eclipse. 2017 was the Great American Total Solar Eclipse, but the path of the eclipse in 2024 will also touch Mexico, along with a little bit of Canada and a lot of Newfoundland. With the COVID-19 pandemic in full swing, no one was able to travel to Chile or Argentina for the total solar eclipse on December 14th, 2020. When a solar eclipse occurs, a large region of the globe is able to see a partial eclipse, when the moon only blocks part of the sun's disk from our view. A much smaller region, shown as a slightly darker area on this map, is known as the path of totality. Within that region, the alignment between the sun, earth, and moon is so perfect that the moon blocks the sun completely, and we get to see the outer regions of the sun's atmosphere. December is summer in the southern hemisphere, and the path of totality passed over lake and volcano country on the Chilean side of the Andes, before entering the more arid and remote region of northern Patagonia on the Argentine side of the mountains. As it turned out, the eclipse would be seen by even fewer people than expected, because the weather near the Chilean coast brought nothing but clouds and rain that day. Thankfully, the skies were clear to the east of the mountains, and professor and astrophotographer Guillermo Abramson was able to see the total solar eclipse. His images here show the corona, the wispy outermost part of the sun's atmosphere, extending out into space. If you look closely, you will see structure within the corona. These are thin strands of gas concentrated by the sun's complex magnetic field lines, and they're changing all the time, which is why no two solar eclipses are alike, because we never quite know what the corona is going to look like when totality begins. The corona is the highlight of total solar eclipses, because this is the only time the corona can be seen with the naked eye. Astronomers do have instruments known as coronagraphs, but these only allow us to see the outer corona. A coronagraph essentially uses a small disk, and you put it in front of the camera and you align it up so it blocks the sun, so the camera and other instruments can see the corona without being blinded by the light from the sun's disk. These are still quite useful, even though we only get to see the outer corona. Astronomers even have one up in space. SOHO uses a coronagraph to keep a constant eye on solar activity. It regularly observes coronal mass ejections, CMEs, which are large eruptions of material being thrown out into space. SOHO has also been the first to discover over 4,000 comets in its operational years, and it's still going. These comets usually are quite small and doomed. Many of them either plunge into the sun itself or get ripped to pieces by the sun's gravity as the comet makes its closest approach to the sun. That's what happened to Comet ISON in late 2013. When it was first discovered, ISON was touted as potentially being the comet of the century, and there were a few early predictions that at its peak, ISON could be as bright as the full moon. As usually happens with comets, that didn't happen. The hype was overdone. The comet did not brighten nearly as much as those few predictions said, and it lost so much mass as the comet made its closest pass to the sun that it faded very quickly. Astronomers eventually determined that the comet was broken into fragments by the sun's gravity. The sky grows dark during totality, and it was dark enough during the total solar eclipse of December 14th, 2020, that Guillermo picked up a faint comet in his image, which he was later able to confirm with an image from SOHO. Seeing a comet is rare under any conditions. Seeing one during a total solar eclipse, well done. You can see more of Guillermo Abramson's astrophotography at his website, linked in the show notes.